How's it going? Welcome back to another video. Apologies for the appearance. I do look a little bit feral. It's just because I'm about 70% of the way now through my Easter leave. And if you have been sort of on the channel for a bit, or if you come here during the sort of vlog series there of the Ranger Carter, that was shot in January, and I just let it sort of upload by itself while I was away, because I was currently away on a course, which we'll talk a little bit more about at the end of this video. Whoa, I just had to catch my breath by. I've been ill for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. 2 weeks it was like a neurovirus type of thing, and then the second 2 weeks, which I'm coming to the end of now, it was like a respiratory thing. You could say cold, flu, cold. There's that many things out there now, I just don't know. All I know is I'm breathing up my ass, and I'm moving at like zone 2 right now. At a pace of like 10 minutes per mile, which is horrifically slow. Anyway, so what I want to talk about is sort of change this channel, and it'll be more apparent at the end of this video. But I was away on Sandhurst Selection. It's a process that started about 6 months ago. I released a video around October, November time, saying I was about to start the process to get ready for that. Myself and one of my other battle buddies are going on a process now to hopefully get selected to a very prestigious training establishment, Sandhurst. But the key pivotal course happened during February there, as them Ranger Carter videos were being released. So I was down in Sandhurst on a selection course, 4-week selection course, and I passed the course. There was 58 people on the course, but it used to be so anything before the course I just sat, you would have found out on the last Friday a thing called bar car. So if you were selected, you go down the steps to a bar. If you weren't selected, you go down the steps to your car, and that was you. But they've now since changed that process, specifically for the course I was on there. So you now get suitable, not suitable. So basically saying you've passed the course, or you need to go away and develop before you attend the course again. And out of the 58 that were there on the course, there was 40 of us got suitable. Myself and my mucker, we both fell into that category. So we've moved into the next process. And that was the 9th of March it finished. Currently as recording this video now, it's the 1st of April. So it's like 4 weeks ago, so we're still waiting in limbo. And by the end of this video, I will have had a notification on my sort of internal system, along with the other sort of 28, 29 people, to say, congratulations, you've been selected, or I'm sorry, but you haven't been selected. I'll know more at the end of this video, because it's taken me a few days to record this video. Back to a walk, bring that heart rate all the way down, look. 160 odd. That's with a chest strap on, so I know it's completely accurate. Right, so the reason why that's it's a big pivotal thing, because one thing, it's career-wise, I really want to go there to instruct. So it's a big move in regards to career. It'll also be, if I do get selected, I'd also have to leave the Royal Irish and move down to Sandhurst with my family. So it's there all changing. It's the first time they have moved house when they're older and they know what's going on. The last time they moved, it was when we went to ITC Catterick when I was an instructor back in 2014. I only had one kid going there, and she was like a baby, and then came back to the Royal Irish, 2 kids, and then a 3rd kid now. So this will be the first time where they'll be like leaving school, where they have friends, they have hobbies, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to uproot all that kind of family stuff as well. And then in regards to this whole YouTube thing, it's also good to go again. Clearly then, moving into a training establishment, I know exactly what I'm on, and I'll be able to do more with this channel itself. And not just necessarily in work, but I'll start to pivot away and explore the sort of mini documentaries I want to do of veterans and people who are up to stuff outside the military, because I'll be able to know when I'm off, all that kind of stuff. Whereas if I don't get selected, I'm clearly going to have to potentially stay in the Royal Irish or moving somewhere if a promotion happens. But it's going to involve deploying operations and stuff. In regards to OPSEC, so ops security, I'll go missing in action on this kind of stuff again for a good year or so. So a lot of good big stuff is going to happen today in regards to this and what happens next. So back in a nice warm house. Well, I wouldn't really say warm. I'm looking out the window there and it's flipping, you would think it's winter again. But that sort of running stuff was a couple of days ago, and since then I've now got the news. I'm going to throw it up on the screen now, and I did. I got selected. Congratulations, you've been selected. Bada bing, bada boom. I think there was about 26, 78, in around that kind of number there, who were selected, and the other, you know, my battle buddy that I spoke about.
Looks like it.
You know, about 6 months ago when I started this process, he also got in, so that's 2 of us from the Royal Irish have got in now as well. Big long process it was there, and I will do a specific video on what it takes to get there, because if you are someone who's in the military, or even someone who's going to join the British military in specific, and that could be like a long-term goal, I'm going to squash any sort of, you know, rumours that are going around and that may steer you away from it, and tell you exactly what to do and what that Carter is all about on the selection Carter, because it's a good place to go. I can only go off the information I've been told by the people who already who've served in Sandhurst as instructors, or who are currently there, who have, you know, had words with as I've been going through the process. But clearly, if you're following this channel now, you will then start to see what life is like as an instructor. So clearly, when I go down to Sandhurst, anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. It's where British Army officers go to get their initial training for about a year or so, and then they get their commission, and then they disappear from there and go do their specifics, whatever they're going to do within the Army. You know, all the different branches and trades the Army has to offer. So if you are someone who is going to go through that process, clearly you're going to get a lot from this the next couple of years, but also then you'll get from the soldiers who may watch this, who are going to be a soldier, not an officer, you'll get a sort of feel for what life is like as an instructor. Because when you've banged out a couple of numerous years in the military and gotten operations, all the rest of it, it is nice to go to a training establishment and get an FOE, so a forecast of events, and see exactly what you're on, when you're on, and all the dates and all the rest of it. It helps you for structure for your life, but also if you've got a partner or a family and that kind of stuff, it will give them, you know, a little bit of respite as well. Because now my wife, she can like book holidays, family holidays and stuff for us a couple of years in advance, because now I know exactly, you know, when I'm going to be off and all that kind of stuff. So that's something that you don't really necessarily get in the Field Army, and definitely not in 16 Brigade because of the high readiness and that kind of stuff. Which leads me on then nicely to what the channel's going to flip and look like, because clearly I started this channel back in 2019. I'm going to stay true to the military, but what you need to do in the military and what sort of stays within that bubble is fitness. It's not going to be a teaching, so you're not going to have like sort of fitness sessions on here, but we're just going to do more fitness videos and stuff to sort of plug the gap in between the military content, to see what way that's going to sort of run out, to see what way that's going to work. So that's going to be doing sort of phys events and just training sessions, all that kind of stuff, and then because clearly I don't need permission to film myself, because I just throw myself on here, so it's that sort of vlog orientated stuff. So there will be a lot more stuff on here. I'm not going to just completely switch the sort of niche of the channel to look cooks or something like that there, because clearly if you've come here for the military style stuff, you're not going to be interested in that. So it will be, I'll always keep it to the core, so the infantry, the military core, and then what can branch off from the military is of health and fitness, and you know, outdoor stuff, so it's like out in the hills and that kind of stuff. I've got it in my mind, and I'm just cautious on what way I sort of produce stuff for yourselves, because if you don't watch anything, then this doesn't exist. And I just enjoy the video making process of it, so I just want to make sure I'm making stuff that you're getting enjoyment or something out of it. So that's what we're going to be doing, so the health and fitness stuff. In regards to that then, it's just setting goals now. So regards to that whole fitness side of stuff, so this year, it's definitely a marathon is the goal this year, and I want to get, I've never ran a marathon before, as in a structured race. I've probably ran the distances before in work, but I've never actually ran a race, so I want to be running a race. I had one booked last November, so I've got that booked. That's the 5th November, 8 weeks away. I got 6 sessions to hit this week. I've got my own training program I'm following, but then I had to like not turn up or cancel it, because then I went to Canada on that military competition. This has been the only one that's given us problems so far.
Let's go! Go!
Go! Get one this year as the weather starts to get better, and I want to get around the 3-hour mark. If I get sub 3 hours, happy days, that's gold standard. But I want to get in around that sort of either 3 hours 15 minutes or sub 3 be class. That sort of like little quadrant there. But that'll be this year. So yes, that's the news, it's complete, and this is where the channel is going to be going. Apologise for the last couple of weeks there, we were sort of a bit of a pause between the sort of Ranger Carter videos and this one. Hopefully now that's us back on this consistently, one a week, Sunday, and as I progress through all these different courses, I'll keep you in the loop as well. But yeah, good times ahead, and I've went to a training establishment before, ITC Catterick. Being an instructor is class, because... and specifically, and I did mention this in the video when I first said I was going through the process, is what I experienced on the Carter was, didn't realise how much an officer cadet needs to go through to even get to the start line. And then once they're at the start line of their commissioning course, that time that they're there, they get absolutely hounded. And I'm not going too much into the Carter I was on, because it'd be a whole new video, a whole different video in itself. But they try and set the conditions for us on the Carter to put us into the same stress and all that kind of stuff is what the officer cadets go through on the course. Clearly ours is only a 4-week course, theirs is near enough a year, so they have to condense it down. But yeah, they do go through a lot. I'm going to go into specifics in a different video itself. But yeah, happy days. Start working there September time, and for me, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going into a place called the Wing, which is like a training wing, and I'm going to be under junior term. So that's officer cadets arriving in September. There's a fresh intake, and I will be teaching them in the sort of classroom, so all their weapon handling and all that kind of stuff. And I know I'm in there from September to December. Class. Right, thanks very much for joining me, and appreciate if anyone has been around for the channel for quite some time. There's going to be some changes, and if you have just joined us from them recent videos there back in February, you've joined at a good time, because it's going to be a completely new sort of thing, and it's going to be really, really good. But thanks very much, because clearly if you don't watch this sort of channel, it wouldn't exist. So appreciate for sticking around, and let's get amongst these next 2 years. See you in a bit.